Overall, it's been a positive experience and it's been good for our relationship.
Good morning! Taylor's been working. I went on a wag walk. I got some more ingredients because I've started the keto diet, and it's been a pretty chill day. We're gonna talk about living in a small space with your spouse or your significant other. So before even Taylor and I got married, Taylor lived with his parents in like a fairly huge house, and I had my own apartment and I lived with him and his parents for some of the time.
Yeah, so we never had an actual house together.
Yeah.
Like this was our first house, so it's not like
a huge like transition.
Yeah, because it would be different if we had a house and we had all, we furnished the house and had a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Even though we did have a bunch of stuff, we had furniture and just things that we've collected over the years. Yeah, so it's kind of a different situation because this is literally our first house. Like, we have,
Which is kind of cool to say, that our RV is our first house. When we transitioned into the RV, it was kind of difficult, for one, because we just got married and we had never lived with each other before, except for at his parents' house.
We had always had our separate rooms, and I had my own room, and of course Kelsey had her own apartment. So transferring to an RV, you're sharing everything. So that was probably the biggest adjustment, is like not having my own space.
And then another part is only having one vehicle. So I used to have my own car and Taylor has his truck, but I had to leave my car in Florida, and thank goodness my mom needed a car, so she took my car and she's now driving it, so it's not just sitting in the driveway. But that's another thing of living in a small space or even an RV, is most of the time you only have one vehicle. You both can't be going and doing separate things. You always have to do things together, or
one person stays
at home or one person goes out.
So moving into an RV, from both of us having our own places, our own things, and moving into an RV has been challenging, but it's also been a good thing because we can't go very far. Like if we have an argument or a confrontation where it gets solved pretty fast because there's really not a lot of places to go.
No, and if we do argue, it's usually one of us goes into the bedroom and closes the sliding door for a couple minutes, and then we're like, okay, let's resolve this situation, and we usually try to talk it out.
Overall, it's been a positive experience and it's been good for our relationship because, we went from having full-time jobs. I worked 9 to 5. Kelsey usually worked at night. We didn't see a lot of each other. We lived in separate homes. And my parents, of course, live out in the boondocks, and she lived in town. So it was a 30-minute drive just to get to her house. And usually when I got off work, she was working. Simplifying and going to this lifestyle has gotten us closer.
Yeah.
Because we spend every waking moment together.
Yes. Which is a good thing.
So I feel like we're gaining many years of experience in relationship.
Yeah, I totally agree. Because it's not like, we have jobs to go to, and it's not like, when you're traveling, it's kind of difficult to have a group of friends, so you're not hanging out, Taylor's not hanging out with a group of friends, I'm not hanging out with a group of friends. It can be difficult, but that's one of the reasons why we did this, is so we could be with each other and experience this beautiful country.
Life.
Yeah.
instead of sitting behind a desk 9 to 5 staring at a screen all day.
Yeah.
And all that being said, you know, I'm an introvert, so I need my alone time, like, and I need to get away, and I just need to be in my nothing box or just have my personal time to do things myself. Really, that time for me is either riding my motorcycle by myself or going into my office, which is just my desk. And just, you know, listening to music and just kind of getting my own time to myself.
So for me, you know, I do wag walks, and then I love grocery shopping. Grocery shopping is like my me time.
Is that why you grocery shop every day?
Probably, yeah.
Gee.
But those are kind of ways that we do to have our me time, because we believe that having me time is a very big thing in a relationship.
Especially in an RV. One thing that when we started, we thought we needed a large RV because we were coming from homes or apartments and downsizing to something as big as an RV. We have a 34-foot travel trailer, and you know, we thought this was like the perfect size, and in all reality it is. Like, we really like the size of this.
Yeah.
Like, living in it, it's just really spacious. That being said, it's much harder to travel with this. So we even discussed the possibilities of getting a smaller one because we are on the move so often.
If anything, this is telling y'all that we are doing fairly well in a small space because we even want to go smaller. That's definitely down the road, because right now we are okay with our RV, but I mean, we could definitely do smaller. For us, it's going very well. We definitely recommend it. If we do ever bicker or get in a fight, we just always try to resolve it as quickly as possible, because no one wants to be around a grumpy person in a small RV. And, you know, we're really working with each other and talking to each other, and the RV life is for us, baby.
Yep. So what do you think, guys? Could you guys live in 140 square foot with your spouse? Or would it be too much? Leave a comment below and let us know, because we want to hear from you guys.
And if you're thinking about getting an RV and need some advice, we would love to help you out. So guys, if you did like today's vlog, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to see the rest of our traveling journey, and we will see you tomorrow.
Rusty boy, what are you doing? What are you doing, Rusty? Where's Dottie? Hi, Dottie. Hi, can you say hello? Rusty, what are you doing?